live.
Hello, Internet.
Whoop-de fucking do.
You're stuck with this bunch of idiots again.
Yep.
Okay.
And yes, I'm including
Arvin.
myself in that. I only have a few brain cells during the weekend.
Oh, what happened? Rough day?
No, actually, it was a very nice day. It's just I don't want to think.
It's the weekend. If you're using a lot of brain cells, you're doing it wrong.
Or I'm at work.
I've been doing it wrong for ages.
I mean, to be fair, you also forced to get work on the weekend, so you have an
That and every Sunday he seems to have to galaxy brain trying to figure out why his crits are so bad.
Oh.
We all know why, and that's the hidden Darien debuff in Essie's code.
Yeah, that Rin solved in his other XCOM game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like XCOM apparently is where all your crits are being funneled to from SE servers. I don't know how they agreed to that whole arrangement. Just funnel crits from your 14 character into an entirely different game whenever your name comes up, but apparently it happened.
Who makes XCOM?
I don't know.
I can't remember, but I do know the.
Because if Capcom is somehow involved, there's your answer right there.
Speaking of console-style games, Nier Automata is actually really good.
Oh, yeah.
I need to start playing it again. I think I'm going to have to start over, though, because I can't remember at all what the fuck I was doing.
All I know is I was told that it's not like a normal game, so it should be pretty easy, time-wise. And I'm already 5 hours in, and I'm not even up to ending A, so I call BS on it.
Oh no, there are many hours in that game.
Lying to you.
Yeah,
unless you literally play on easy with all the auto chips, where the game is literally just you just put the controller down and be like, "Look, mom, no hands," and the game will kill everything. I don't know, but anyways, gonna leave that nice turn order thing over there for now because we might need it. Who knows?
Ugh.
Leave that from turn order, and we'll start. Okay. So last time on Dragon Ball Z, you guys found out that apparently the fucker who started this place is a little bit paranoid in traps, and resolved it by way of just eating about. Did I actually count how many? Oh, I do have a count. It was around roughly 40 skeletons down the hallway to get rid of all the traps.
Huh?
40 skeletons and imps, so there's 40 less of those in the immediate vicinity around this particular death circus.
Nice.
With that resolved, you went inside and tried to see if you could figure out what all dealt with Janna's arcane eye, because it got poofed while you guys were throwing skeletons around. Go in, Giacchio, deciding to see the unseen, spotted a spoopy ghost that turned out to be his dad. And when he approached, more spoops appeared, and then so did Jonah, and then a fight happened. And yeah, it got pretty just terrible from then on. Not for you guys, really, because man, I can't fucking... I look for the stats, and some of them just really disappoint me. And then, John was like, no, fuck you, and chained her stupid brother to the ground for probably the next day, because, man, DC 26, and he's got a dex mod of +2, he's fucked.
Yeah, you can't even nat 20 your way out of that one.
Yeah, no, not even a nat 20, no.
And to make a short story shorter, for personally, Galen has really made Shakio shitless.
Uh-huh.
He's gonna have a bad day.
Oh yeah, because the sword your dad was wielding had your mom's soul in it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, now there's just, Mikote's skeleton on the ground over there, the smoldering remains of what used to be some spoops, and then Jonah strapped to the ground, like stuck with his face like to one side. Like he can't even, because of the chains, turn his head to look the other direction. He's just stuck.
Well,
Can I imagine part of the broken sword?
Jonah's sword is just
No,
like
the
kind of there.
sword-
It's out of his grasp. The one
No,
for
the sword I broke.
yeah, it's in two pieces on the ground next to the skeleton.
which Shayakio is now bundling up. He's bundling up the skeleton and grabbing the sword piece.
It's not hard. There's only two. Because lightsabers are cool.
Yup.
See if we got more things for that. Anyway. So yeah, he is kind of at your mercy. What you doing?
Just
Oh, what's Jonna gonna do?
a lot of talking, so if anyone wants to do anything else while I get out of Borderlands and roll 20, be my guest.
Oh shit, the music stopped. Let's use this.
How long of a trip would it be to walk to the ship and back?
In total, especially because you can also, you keep still hearing a few. They're now farther and few between, especially because you guys aren't fighting anymore. You can still hear them. You still hear Tanner's sniper going off, but there's significantly longer and longer pauses between each shot. It's sounding like it won't take long to get there because you won't have to swat aside the scrubs anymore because you guys you dealt with a lot of what was left.
He's been cleaning
Because
house
mock
the
justice
entire
is strong.
time. Darling, fill me in when I get back, and I'm gonna solemnly walk to the ship.
Emma gives him a.
Break
She
is
gives one of.
murder his parents.
Hey, they were murdered when they got brought up. I just put them back to rest.
I know I'm not angry at you.
No, that was out of the character
Oh.
because Rin's being a shit. Edmund would just give him just squeeze his soldier in a quiet apology and then pay attention.
Yeah. Total time to get to and from would probably take you, given how it's just, a small, comparatively small staircase, about 5 minutes total to and from.
So you probably wouldn't miss anything of note.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I get to the ship, I'm gonna, in separate places, just because I'm being paranoid, I'm gonna put the skeleton and the sword in separate places, but secure them both on the ship, just in case there's some other tomfoolery trickery that'll happen.
When you get there, by the way, Roy and his sister are, waiting outside, just like sort of holding down a perimeter with the half-orc lady and the Durgan. And Roy looks at you and he starts sitting, he sees your face and he just shuts up. Someone else tries to stop, he just shuts him up, just no, don't, mm-mm. He senses bad juju.
I do pause for a moment to make quick mention that we captured Jonah, and I think Jonah's gonna talk to him, and that's it. Just to fill them in.
Both of them get just immediately stop what they're doing. And you see them look at each other, and it's that weird, just you have you see them having that mental conversation, kind of. And Rhea looks in the direction of the big top, then shakes her head and motions towards it. To which Roy's like, I'm gonna follow you then. Let's go.
God, no faith.
These two have a history with Jonah as well, asshole. Shut up.
Yeah, I secure them, and I'm assuming it doesn't take me too long, so I'm kind of trailing behind them.
It's just Roy who follows.
Oh, just Roy. While trailing
Yeah,
behind
Rhea's
him.
staying back.
Behind him, then.
Your passive perception's what, 20?
Yes.
Okay. But while Jacques is doing that, what's going on in the big top?
I'm calling him an idiot. Because he's a giant idiot. So, let me get this straight. The whole reason you're doing this was revenge for what happened blah blah years ago.
1 second. You're really fucking quiet.
It's a shame we can't figure this out. Because it just, like, suddenly happened and we haven't been able to...
Like, I heard what you said. It was just really fucking quiet for the first part, Rin.
Any better?
A
A
little.
little bit.
You know, I was saying that I was gonna call him an idiot, and I was
Mhm.
gonna start talking. So, let me get this straight. Your whole reasoning behind this was revenge for the incident blah blah years ago.
He just looks at you. He's just staring at you.
Did it ever occur to you that maybe I'd want to enact such vengeance personally? That I would not be okay with this?
Till about 3 years ago, I thought you were dead.
Till, you know, how long ago out of character was when you showed up and said hi at the freaking, like, dwarf village thingy, dwarf town city thing?
Oh, the robot town?
I
That was
remember.
about... By now? That was close to... 5 to 6 months.
Yeah, up until you appeared out of nowhere, the freaking Sol city, I had no idea you were alive either. As I was saying, this is not the way to do it.
What would you propose? Just blow the town to hell and get on with your life?
No, that's part, like, 6 of the plan, but not part 5.
You see that, like, exacerbated older sibling look on Jonah's face for just the briefest of moments.
Look, the villages themselves are only the symptom of the problem. Don't treat the cause, it'll just happen again.
Think dropping a demon castle would get that point across.
Yeah, they wouldn't actually treat the cause of the problem. Just put a giant hole in the floor.
Why wouldn't it?
Why would it?
You still don't understand, do you?
Padma yells from across the area. Because you haven't explained a bloody damn thing, you hacking idiot!
I accept that criticism.
Always the problem with this sort of thing. Nobody explains shite! So much things would get done so much more efficiently if people would just talk!
Really not wrong. But years that followed before I found out you were still alive, dear sister, realized that the gods aren't real. And if they're not real, why would the great demons who stand against them be real? Beyond just some deranged, shared, cult-like fascination.
Interesting theory.
Because if the gods had been real, and if the gods did, by extension, did care, for reference, you can see Celestine bristling, like he's starting to floof and just glare, but he's standing still. Gods did care. Why would it have happened in the first place?
See, that's a funny story, actually, because I have a hotline to one of them, and I'm responsible for blowing up another one, so I can tell you they at least exist.
I'm sure you just haven't gone mad.
I mean, that's beside the point. Can you really blame someone for going slightly insane given what's happened?
What the fuck?
What?
No, that was out of character.
Heard screeching come through Rin's mic.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was fine with me.
Oh, I just heard in the background. Okay.
Oh, so y'all can hear that, you can't hear me. Bullshit.
Higher frequency.
Higher frequency, and it was while you were talking.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it comes down to this. You can either come with me, and you can do it my way, or you can stay there, and, well, unfortunately, this place is meant to explode, so it's up to you. I would rather you come with me, but I'm going to force you if you wish to lie there and wallow in self-pity.
Hmm. So which one do you claim to hear, and which one did you blow up?
Out of character, I forgot the name of the goddess of knowledge.
Soraya?
I have a hotline to Soraya, and I've blown up a rel on multiple occasions. It's rather cathartic.
Hmm.
She's actually in dumb baby jail at the moment because of me. It's rather amusing.
Jonah just like rolls his eyes. It's very interesting to
no,
have this
they-
conversation
they
while he's
weren't-
fucking chained to the ground by magic, by the way, in my head. So he's just like laying down. It's like the dude strapped to a bed. Just like, yeah, I don't give a shit.
Like I said, we're going to go blow this place up and return. If you're of a different mind, I'll get you off the floor. If not, oh well.
You don't think it'll be that easy, do you?
Of course not. If it were that easy to take revenge on, cosmic beings, everyone would do it. Whether it's easy or hard does not change the fact that we're going to do it anyway.
I'm not talking about what you plan to do after all of this. I'm talking about what you plan to do once you release me. If you release me. When he says if, he just looks right up at terrain. Because, All Might God of Thunder is right there.
I mean, I never exactly said I'd release you. I said I'd just take you with me.
Come now, Jonna, I know you're not this daft. You wouldn't be suggesting this when you're dealing with the one who controls the damned castle you're standing on.
Where's his stick, by the way?
It's funny you mention that. As he's talking, you see it appear in his hand, but then like his body, like his left hand, while he's still chained down, because the magic chains are around his wrists and ankles, his waist, and his neck. And you see him like trying to do something, but eventually the cane just like sort of his like right hand, like his left hand violently spasms and it like rolls away from him. So it's just like between Terrain and Jonna right now in that square.
About that, Padma walks over and picks it up. About that.
Oh, okay, cool. So you don't have to worry about that. Anywho.
Daft all you want, I at least would like to repay the favor. Didn't save me all those years ago, at least to give you a chance.
How do I break this thing?
I was like, I wouldn't be touching it, I'll be honest. That's a start.
Well, I'm getting it away from... She points at Jonah. Crazy McFuckface here.
Still, I would put it down quickly.
Takes like 3 steps over and steps over there and then drops it. There!
You actually hear a disappointed sigh from Jonah. And I was hoping there would be a few other idiots among you.
Now can I break it, Arvin?
Feel free. Just, well, call me cautious when there's, he taps his foot. A lot of bad right under us.
Out of character, I get the sense there was some sort of save coming.
Okay, so if the stick is right here, that's... 20 foot.
Celestine,
Yes, since Brother Deer seems very set in not cooperating, oh well, just go.
Well, he was about to say something else, but then Tori went on for something, so...
Alright, I'm gonna step back here, because I think that's...
Tori's doing a thing, and then I'll have Jonah say his piece.
Just do... Let's just nuke the thing. Ping!
Okay.
Good choice, given its radiant damage.
Casting at 6th level, Jesus Christ.
I take no chances.
Oh.
She's not.
I didn't even see that part.
She's not fucking around.
No, she's not. It's a good thing you did too. Oh fuck! I didn't actually account for people trying to blow it up that way. Well, given its nature and what it is, you wind up your fucking Persona 5 spell there, hurl it directly thinking as the white and blue explosion of light kicks up around it. You hear this like, for a split second, it's like it's like the flash of a camera, but it's like the shadow on the wall behind you. You see a shadow of something, just like, you know, like my eyes kind of pose, and then
Nice.
The where there had once been the key of the Loaberg, there's now a explode, just, you know, simple explosion char marks, and where the where the key had been is just outlined in the soot.
Good riddance.
Man, hope we didn't need that or something.
Yeah, right?
What Jonah was about to say is kind of lost because he's just staring at where it had been, just like, that could have been destroyed this whole bloody time?
You didn't try.
You see his eye twitching very aggressively. I did. Everything I did didn't work.
Pema just kind of sticks her tongue out at him.
He can't do anything with radiant damage, can he?
He's an Eldritch Knight. He can only cast up to 4th level spells.
Oh.
And even then, 1 4th level spell a day.
I figured it was worth burning my level 6 slot.
Yeah, I'll say it was. So he's just... 6 years. 6 years. Time it took for me to find it, try to kill it, then to figure out how to use it. And you just like that, he snaps his fingers. It's gone. It's that blasted simple.
Usually is.
We're practically gods.
I'm so glad you're not saying that in character, because if you did, Roy would have turned around and slapped you. Just never say that. It always leads to bad. Anyway. So now that Giacchio comes back with Roy in tow, but do I have Roy's token on hand? I think I do. I do. So let's just plonk him down in here. Boop. So, Giacchio, as you and Roy walk in, you hear Jonah having a fucking, like, aneurysm and conniption at the exact same time. Just out of pure frustration. And the rattling of the fucking magical chains, he's, like, kind of trying to get up, but more is just, like, flailing against them because it's the only actions he can really take, because he can't move, so he can't spend half his movement to stand up. So he's just stuck flat on the ground, face down.
Pava turns away to Shakio. I might have ruined his thing.
I just look past her and see the crater. Okay.
Or, like, looks at Padma, looks over at the angry Jonah, and back at her. I like your style. I don't even know what you did, but I like it.
I blew up the key.
Okay.
It did not like radiant damage.
I hear a deep sigh from Jonah. And of course you're back. Jonah, like, actually struggles enough to flip his head to look in the other direction. He's now facing towards Fenless.
Oh, God.
He's not looking at you, he's looking at Roy, which isn't hard because Roy's really tall and Sneck is not. So he's, he's, to you, Fenless, it looks like he's looking in the direction of Sneck, but then you look and you see Roy behind Sneck, you're like, oh.
Interesting.
It's like, don't you worry, I hate your ass too. Jonah. After everything that happened back then, I'm not surprised. I've heard a saying once, those who sin often have no regrets, but... Well, he looks down at his fucking chained wrist, and the fact that, he half his face is covered in dirt, and again, in the dirt. I don't think that's true anymore.
So how do we get down to the core?
Jonah rolls his head back over to look in the direction of where the key had been. Well, seeing as how the means of sealing the entrance to the core I'd used is now up in smoke, I imagine the magic it contained is gone with it. So just go that way. Hold on, I need to... He points you towards what looks like where the performers would come onto stage way over here. It's way in this direction.
Okay. Oh shit. Who had all the C4? Or did we use it? I don't think we used it all.
No, you used like 2 charges to deal with the mimic, and or it's like, that's a good question. One moment you see him pull out a comm. Hey sis, can you get the C4 from Victoria? Yeah, we're at the big top. Okay, she'll be right here with it. Just has to get the notes from Vicky about how to blow this place to hell.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Here, Jonah loudly ask, your sister's still holding a grudge about back then? Which Roy says, the fuck do you think, Care? The fuck do you think? Like, just curious.
Out of character, I'm trying to remember. We know of the fact that they have a history, and nothing beyond that. I'm trying to remember.
You specifically, Giacchio, because you looked this up with, I think with Sneck or with Terrain. You went with someone and looked it up. Or maybe it was Arvin. I don't remember who you looked up with, but I know you found out that for a time, Jonah here and the Fortune twins both worked for the circus here.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and it was mentioned like something happened and like, people quit. And when you tried to ask Roy about it, he got rather snippy.
And I didn't help because I got snippy right back, and he hung up.
Mm-hmm. Since I now need her token too. There it is. It takes a significantly less time than it took for the monk to show up with a bag of C4 slung over her shoulder. It's a step of the wind, yo.
Mm-hmm. Plus just being a fucking monk.
Yeah. Monk, step of the wind, just do nothing but dash. You get going. You get wherever you want to be, just real quickly. She just sort of jogs in with this duffel bag over her shoulder. All right, I got it. Where's the things to stick it to?
This way, apparently, and I'm gonna start heading that way. I'm just gonna picture all the way.
Okay.
Just for the sake of brevity.
Don't worry. The only thing that happens, like this whole time, Jonah's quiet, and if you look back as everyone else is walking over, you see that Rhea just straight up doesn't acknowledge that Jonah's on the floor there, just walks right past him. Like, she acknowledges everyone who's around him, or was standing around him, but not him. She didn't even do that thing like you walk past someone you don't like and you step on them. She didn't even do that.
Oh no, I know exactly what she's doing. There was a kid in high school who did that to me. Pompous ass.
Heh.
So I know exactly what she's doing.
But given how like I'm just gonna straight up tell you you're not gonna fight anything down here. We're just gonna keep to this map for the moment. And indeed, when you get to the quote unquote back room, you rather easily find what you figure is the door into Castle Loeberg, because it's a very conspicuous stone entryway. Just it looks like it violently jutted up out of the ground, like this place is sitting on top of the roof of the castle. And it's like, that's probably the way in. So have Celestina boof down the door.
Yep.
Because hey man, 2 axes versus door, boof wins.
Doesn't matter what it's made of. If it's going against the boof wins eventually.
I mean, the boof is wielding Axe Excalibur and the stick, so
Yep.
he just needs to lumberjack his way through that for you, and it'll be fine. It is kind of impressive, however, that a wooden door held up for who knows how long the thing's been underground and didn't, rot away.
Yeah, right?
But getting inside the... You can tell at one point this place would have been fucking terrifying to be in. But as spooky as ruins are when they're in a black stone castle, imagine they'd be a lot spookier if they hadn't been what you assume to have at one point been like enchantments and traps hadn't just eroded away. Because any of you even passingly trained in Arcana would notice that the you can see spots where arcane traps were, but because they were not cast upon it, they were etched in via like warding runes, effectively. Mm-hmm. The runes have eroded, so the spell is lost in a lot of places.
And I am trained in Arcana, so I know I would notice that.
Yeah, trained in Arcana or just a mage at all. So really, the only one who might not figure it out is basically just the boof and Neck and Snackbot.
The boof doesn't care; he just wants to break down doors.
He also makes a pretty good meat wall, so you got him going first.
Yeah. I keep my eyes open just in case there are some that haven't worn away, though.
Yeah, it's...
Just in case.
You also, in a few places, you find where you believe the fear demon got out from. The one that Marcus immolated in the freak show.
Mm-hmm.
Because you eventually start seeing like scratch big ass claw marks and shit on the walls. And what looks like the remains of what may have been just minor demons in here that were just annihilated by this initially feral fear demon who's finally been let out of fucking solitary.
Well, we know where he came from.
Yeah, it's not hard, because when you get down to you follow the claw marks, and you eventually come across this long hallway that has only 2 doors in it. One is just like anaya-fucked. Don't ask how that word works. I don't even know why I said it.
Because funny.
But it's apt.
It's apt. Like, you can see the pieces of the door that were like, it was an actual like solid metal door, and it's now just in tatters.
It would give the boof a run for his money.
This is a level of smash that not even the boof can do.
Damn, fear is an
Primarily
intense...
because part of it looks like raw, physical prowess, and then it like casts spells to just blast its way out. But you can also see what used to be chains and a half melted padlock with like arcane runes on it that were definitely opened. And you can also see one spot that looks like directly to one side of the door that looks like it's okay. You assume, because it's like perfectly pristine in that place and everything around it is fucked, that somebody put up like a small invincibility thing or something just to keep themselves from getting hurt, opened it up and just duck, and then just let the fucking happen.
They put up the shield and repeatedly cast fireball from within the cell.
They put up the no, this is like outside the door.
Oh, this is outside the door. My bad.
Yeah, I know. It's like how you stand to one side and you open the door and then the angry person comes running out. It's about like that.
Oh boy.
Or in a more cartoony thing, opening the door and watching the guy trying to barrel through it shoulder first just go yeeting himself out the window.
Yeah.
3.
It's about like that, except with a fear demon who was trapped for thousands of years in a small box with no means to do anything beyond plan and scheme and get really fucking pissed. Across from it is the rather, just like totally pristine but giant double doors that when you get up to it, Roy's like holds up his PDA. Yeah, it's in there. Whatever the fuck we're looking for, it's through there.
Good, because I suddenly really want to be done with this place.
Mood. And it's just this big set of iron double doors that look like traditional ye olde big wooden iron banded double doors, but it's all metal.
I try to push and or pull.
Pull doesn't work because there's no handle to pull on, but pushing does.
I'm gonna push this bitch open.
Yeah, you, Celestine, Roy, and Terrain get to push in.
Open the door.
And indeed, doors open, and first thing that hits you is the smell.
Oh god.
Take that like rotting compost stank of like having mowed the lawn and dumped all the grass like a week after you dump all the grass trippings into your yard waste bin. Take that, add it in a barn, and dead bodies.
So the first two, I was like, okay, those don't
Love
smell that
this
bad,
smell.
and then dead bodies are just, well, that's nasty.
It's
I
more than
hope-
just
I
a
hope
sudden
we know
shift
when
of
to go home.
stank from musty, old castle to just death.
All in favor of blowing it up and getting the hell out of here?
I
Well, it's not. That was the stink is the first thing that hits you. The second thing that hits you is the pulsing purple light. And not like, oh god, you need to make saving throws purple light. It's just, well, the heart of Castle Lowenberg is very literal. That is a giant sentient being's heart pumping in this thing.
Well, I guess we learn something every day. Demons can literally be castles.
That worked for Dracula.
Yeah, it's a big, like, this heart is like the size of a bus. like full on like the double decker European buses in the UK. It's huge.
Well,
And you see its veins just like going into the upper walls and the ceiling.
I had to guess the most effective spot would be there, pointing at the veins for the C4 charges.
Roy's like,
If I had to guess.
I mean, I'm all in favor of like stage 1 strap just bombs all over the inside of this bitch, and stage 2 we use the Guardian to blow it up. But he turns to Rhea. Victoria gave you a note, right? She's like nodding and digging through the fucking bag of C4. She's like, yeah, 1 sec. Pulls it out. And then over the next like about 10 minutes, about the next actually fuck. Oh, it's like the next half hour, 45 minutes, you guys just basically leave a trail of C4 breadcrumbs from the room you're in out and around most of the other inner workings of the castle itself. Until you eventually reconvene back up here in the big top. Because you C4 delivery shit out of it. But when you get back up here, you notice Rhea walking very with purpose towards Jonah, who's still there. He's now like humming something to himself. And Jonah recognizes it. The rest of you don't.
What does he hum?
The lullaby your mother used to sing to you too.
I was gonna say, is it's a lullaby of woe.
Pretty much.
I love that song. I love that Witcher 3 song.
Rhea then just like looks back over her shoulder, and you see now she has one more piece of C4 in her hand. We need the trash, or can we just leave it?
Not sure what you're referring to.
She's pointing to your brother as she says that.
It's not very nice. I mean, I can call him that.
I don't know. They have enough history. I think they might have that right too.
I don't know the details, I just know that they all work together at some point for this circus.
Celestine, can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
You know, chop off a large chunk of one of those seat pews for me?
Celestine immediately just like fucking full tilt boof sprint, jumps, and then just crashes into the seats.
Oh.
Like you hear the super, it's like you hear the me Roadrunner poof, and then he takes off, and then just poof, jump, crash, and he pops back up, and he's holding a big plank over his head. Got it.
Can you bring it over here, please?
He walks over. He's still holding it. Where do you want it?
Just hold it up right here.
Like straight up, like a tree?
Yep.
Okay, he's holding it.
Fun thing about mage chains, at will I can cause it to embed in another object.
Oh.
He is now restrained to the pole.
Just to change to something, and he's like, they even pull his arms behind it.
Like that would really hurt.
No. I mean, like, he's standing upright and his arms are behind his back.
Yeah, that works. He's still restrained to the same degree he was, just not to the floor anymore, so that work.
He's he doesn't seem at all perturbed by that. He just like does like ugh, and he just goes back to humming.
Train, would you? Train's just gonna pick up and carry him.
Celestine just looks at John and his tail's wagging. You're welcome.
Thank you. Headpads for both.
Yay. He just like looks, watches that happen, and as you guys just walk past her, she just tosses the C4 down where he had been laying a second ago and just follows you out. And on that note, you guys are no longer in here.
Yeah.
To the bib map. Now heading back to the bus. And in fact, yeah, for the sake of brevity, let's just get you back to the world map.
Yeah.
That place don't have much long left for this world.
Oh, hey, you labeled things differently.
No,
You did.
it's always been like this.
No, I mean, like, you labeled some of the tokens from where things happened with what happened.
He's had it that way for a while.
Yeah,
Oh.
We just haven't gone to the world map for a while, so you may have forgotten.
probably.
No, those definitely weren't there last time I saw this.
Well, regardless.
Yeah, either way. With Jonah riding the plank, as it were. I can't say he's walking the plank because that'd be a bold-faced lie. The villain is in the escorting clutches of justice. You guys make your way back to the Bismarck. And Evelyn is no longer in Durgan Farm once you show up, and you only heard one single last gunshot out of Tanner's sniper rifle on your way back. Once you arrive, the only real question comes from Victoria, who's waiting at the entrance to the Bismarck. Are we done here?
I just give a simple nod.
Good. And she walks back inside. Because you also notice that all of the like quick fortifications that were set up are taken back down, and
Waste not, want not.
yeah, it was just like some deployed cover that looked like it could easily be just capsule tech thing.
Hey, Capsule Tech's some cool shit, man.
Yeah, just, instant shit. You guys, get about halfway from the Lowerberg back to the Guardian. And then you just hear over comms Victoria's voice, go. And then thunderous explosion. Looking out the nearest windows or whatever have you, you see the Lowerberg go up in flames, and almost immediately afterward, a giant piercing beam of blue light just go right through it. And once it does, there's a very strange pause, even as like the thing is like on fire and starting to list. And then you see it crackle with purple energy a few times before the whole like image just seems to become a still photo. And then this weird sucking noise happens, and where had once been the Lowenberg and the remains of the Sanson and Eckhart World Traveler Circus is now just a void of black in the air that lingers for a few seconds. You see some sparks dancing on the edge of it, and then just and it's gone.
Oh, out of character for a second there. I was like, oh, fuck me.
You pretty handily blew it to hell.
Yep.
And you just watch where it was and fly back to the Guardian in relative silence, unless there's something you want to ask your entourage or the bitch stuck to a stick.
Actually, yes, I was gonna find Arvin.
Mm-hmm.
Say, Arvin, do you happen to have an extra symbol of Dulcea?
Takes him a moment of rummaging. Pauses with a little laugh. Actually, I don't even think I carry around one for myself. Why?
I was gonna make a funeral pyre for my father's bones. I was gonna put the symbol of Dulcea with it. Since my mother, at least at some level, worshipped Dulcea herself.
Well, you'll be able to find one before you have your give them their last rites.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And for the rest of the time, I'm gonna use Grim Psychometry on that fucking sword.
Oh, you're actually gonna do that?
I am gonna fucking do it. You think I wasn't gonna do that?
Well, given how directly you are connected to the soul in question, you find out rather a bit more than you think you ever have by using this ability of yours. Question though. In your head, did you have like a roughly equivalent like D&D class in mind for your mom, or no?
Not a class specific, but not a specific class, but she did have some arcane ability. Because she would use like dancing lights to entertain Chiakio as a baby.
Okay, so she at least had cantrips. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I can work with that then. Okay. At a sudden, just moments after you begin, looking into the dark history of this this great sword, you're pulled into a back alley somewhere. It's late at night. It's a lot like watching the it's like it just a little aside that you realize sort of in hindsight, it's shot a lot like a movie.
Okay.
You see a figure running through and you're following them very closely, and a car goes past, and just in that brief flash of light of its headlights, you're following your mother. She looks at the street, glances, and then just ducks back into the alley, goes back around back the way she came. till she reaches a particular door. When she reaches it, 4 dim globules of light appear, rotate in a very peculiar pattern, and then hit 4 indentations next to the door, which then opens. She walks inside, and at this point you notice now she's carrying the weapon you have. And you can see it's in a large leather scabbard on her back. You're very aware, just like from her like overall appearance, that there's no way she can actually wield this in battle herself. She's carrying it for some other reason.
Uh-huh.
When she goes in through this door, you see her. You're not sure what to make of the building she's entered. It looks like somewhere between one of those like mafioso bad guy bars to one side, and the other side is like, it looks like some manner of almost weird arms dealer. She walks into the arms dealer, and this very worn, very battered dwarf looks at her in a bit of confusion. You can't hear what she's saying. You can tell she's talking, but you can't hear her voice. You see her set the blade down. And you notice now what the inscription on it says. It's oh fuck. Where the hell did I put it? There it is. It just says be safe in Sylvan on it. And the inscription looks a little worn, but she pulls out the blade to, get it to reflect a bit in the light. It looks far more pristine than the
Current
weapon
state.
that was broken. The dwarf talks to the... And then you see him look over, whistle, like do the finger whistle thing, and motion to very old, very tired looking human male. Gray hair. Can't really see his eyes that well in the... It's lit, but it's not like the best lit. But when he stands up, it doesn't matter anyways. He pulls up a hood and puts on this strange black mask with some manner of like blue markings on it. You're not sure. They faintly glow though. It's a little creepy. But you recognize the mask, Giacchio. You've seen it before. Uh-oh.
That was a Darian.
Oh.
I was actually kind of hoping that was Jinx. Just like, nope.
I was concerned, like, uh-oh. I thought it might have been me, actually. I'm like, oh no, my internet. Anyway, you saw this mask in your uncle's lab. That's Galem. He was one of the rogue scouter you saw in that hollow Skype call. Seems like he discusses something with the dwarf and your mother. And then all of a sudden, she has a short sword pressed to his neck. And because of the mask, you can't tell how bothered he is by this, Mikote woman trying to fucking murder his ass. The dwarf has pulled a gun from underneath the counter. You see a couple of what clearly look like, the equivalent of bouncers or security just pop out like a couple shotguns like, whoa, no.
Hey, I have one of those.
There's a bit more discussion. And then you see another familiar, rather worrying silhouette stepping into frame behind your mom. It's a large dragonborn with a strange mark on his forehead. You remember him. He kind of got trebucheted by a tree at Celestine's request.
Son of a bitch.
You see your mother notice his presence, turn around and start to aim a spell at him, but he just grabs her hand and the spell just goes right into his mouth. And he just grins and picks her up because he's huge compared to her. He just has this big maniacal grin. See Galen hold up a hand as your mom's like trying to struggle to get out of his grasp, but apparently Faust is a big strong boy too. As she turns, like throws the short sword at Galen, he just sort of does a little you recognize it as the shield spell. Just pops that up and it pings off. He seems to he like his shoulders kind of move like he's laughing a little bit, just like that, evil villain chuckle. He runs his hand along the sword. And he seems to be like musing on something. And then you hear the only like actual word. You've heard like the sounds of like the movements and the actions this whole time. But you just hear the mention of your uncle's name. Just that, because Galen says it as he's touching the sword. And then, oh well. He grabs the blade by the handle. And in this very surreal, almost unnatural flurry of motion, the sword is plunged through your mom. And you see her eyes just like flash with this strange arcane light before suddenly her whole body glows and just all of her is into the blade.
Oh.
Big Faust boy looks a little disappointed. And then you hear Galem's voice. I know someone who could make use of this. And he picks up the scabbard, puts it away. And tosses a sack full of a few what look like credit cards at the dwarf for the trouble. And that's when the vision ends.
One of my hands is bleeding because I had inadvertently grabbed the blade some point in my meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have tears have streamed down my face, and there is a look of, like, if fury was an element, I was fury at that moment.
I'm really sad now.
I calmed down to gain enough sense to update the feelers I had thrown out there and describe what had happened with, and at the end of it I just put find Faust, find Galen.
You get an almost immediate hit back from your old buddy Dylan. Well, old contact of your mom's anyways. He's like, his immediate response, it starts off with just his immediate response of, well, Faust is probably an alias. I'm going to hate to tell you this, and that exactly one ain't, and that one's not exactly uncommon. However, Galen, I like, well, just a quick search just came up with only one result that kind of fits the description you got. And no, I don't want to know how you got it. But check out this, and it's just a link to a article that mentions an interview with the archaeologist Galen Drakmore.
I'm gonna click this link.
It's about it's dated about 2 or 3 years before your mom died. And it's detailing a and you can tell by there's a picture of him in there. He's this old kind of like a it looks like if you took fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi in the second and third prequel movies, but gave him gray hair and made him kind of evil looking. About that kind of a thing going on facially.
Okay.
But, you know, I say kind of evil looking. He actually looks fairly, you know, happy in the still image because he's like talking in an interview. And it's going on about how he found what he believed was a very important just cultural site for literally everyone on the planet. But the article then goes on to mention that the time of the interview was about half a year before it was published. And in that time, the dig site has just like gone up in flames. Galen disappeared along with some of the artifacts found, and there's no real sign of what caused it. And it mentions like this sort of weird semi-informal just like mention of, you know, Galen's past, and it's just like, you know, simple. There's no, he didn't seem to be anything special. He was just, you know, dedicated, magically inclined archaeologist seeking to, you know, uncover mysteries of, you know, the world's past and all that jazz. It mentions that it also mentions that it was a passion he shared with his late wife, who had passed away some 5 years prior. But apart from that, when you go back to the actual message, it says, apart from what's in that, there's no real talk of just the guy at all. And, you know, in the business, that's a really, really bad sign, because you can dig up dirt on just about anything. Believe me, I've done it.
That in and of itself is red flags galore.
Yeah, it's like, which, you know, you get to looking for some weird shit. I can tell you all the kinds of weird information I've picked up because of it. But when someone just goes off the grid this completely, I'm a level with you on the professional level. There's some shit, and I don't think you want to be in it. Just from me to you. So, hey, if you'd asked around for a few others, give them a heads up, but this shit's looking potentially really fucking spooky. Because if guys talking to you start going missing, your name's going to become a major red flag to any information broker out there. Just saying.
I will take...
And that's where the message ends.
I'll take that advice, because I did message multiple feelers.
Mm. Few of them appreciate the heads up. One of them doesn't respond right away. It takes him about 10 minutes. And he's just like, and his response is just, is, hold on, I have an image for this. His response is just to send you, I'm gonna put it in general, this picture, and then that's it. That's all you get from that guy. Oh yeah, we have it as an emote too. I forgot. We have it as an emote on the server. Like, that's all you get from one of them. But yeah, you have successfully updated your network about that whole business.
Yeah, and Shiakio doesn't want to turn himself to a giant red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only does that close him off the network, it makes him a big fucking target for whoever he's looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once little after that done, you guys have finally landed back on the Guardian, and first thing you notice is just like immediately there's a lot of hustle in the ship, and you very easily realize why, because it sounds like a medical team is yanking Marcus's dumbass off the Bismarck. And indeed, as you look through the cockpit window, there's Marcus on a hover stretcher, people are just sprinting his ass into the Guardian, and he does not just even like better lighting, he looks bad because it's now starting to reach sunset. And that does not look like a very well-off Dragonborn getting hauled to the med bay right now.
Okay. I'm gonna go for dinner, but while I am gone for dinner, Shiakio simply wants to accomplish finding an extra symbol of Fenris for his dad, Dulcea for his mom, and he will probably check on Marcus at some point.
Good to know. I'll update you that when you get back.
Okay. And when I get back, if it's quieted down enough, I may want to talk to Victoria.
Okie dokie. All right, so what the rest of you doing now that you've made it back to the mercenary airship?
Stuff.
Oh, no.
See,
If anyone else wants to do something, please go ahead, because mine's gonna take a while.
I can't think of much.
Let me just grab another bottle of water, because I feel like I'm going to need this.
Variant, you guys want to do anything for the next God knows how long? This could take anywhere
Probably
between 5
sleeping.
minutes and a very long time.
What was that, Heck?
I'm probably just going to be sleeping.
Snack is just like, I'm done with this shit, nap time, faceplant.
Yep.
Okay.
tea time for me.
All right, Fentless is business as usual.
Alright then.
Oh, baby.
I need to make
You know, your background music keeps making me think we're about to head into Stranger.
well, I mean, one of us might be.
Oh.
Well, it's a song called Hiding Your Reality, so...
It's got that cool 80s vibe.
All right, Ren, so what you got for me?
My nifty little hand telephone only connects me to the goddess of knowledge, correct?
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, but it only connects me to her specifically.
Yeah. Because she's the one who put it on you.
I'll make a phone call.
There's a pause after you do it, and then you just hear this. And well, since I've heard from you...
So I've been busy with various things.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like a favor if it's not too much to ask.
What sort of favor?
Can I speak to Arella?
This is very, like, long, like, almost awkward pause. You can hear, like, the thinking emoji on the goddess's face. Just about. It's like, why would you want to?
have things that need to be rectified.
What things?
Bargains to strike.
Bargains.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you up front that unless it in any way revolves around vernating her above all others and any other sort of, vain, self-centered thing she wants this time, and given how you're the one who
Might
encouraged,
appeal to that.
and, well, plus the fact you were the one who requested she have several very large rocks, burning space rocks dropped on her, I doubt she's going to want to talk to you regardless of what you intend to do.
I think it's worth a shot. Maybe our other option is to stay in dump baby jail for how long again exactly?
She's out at this point, actually.
Oh. Oh, shorter than I thought.
Well, her sister makes a more convincing argument. Oh dear.
Out of character, my entire plan was contingent on her being stuck in dump baby jail. Because arranging her early release was going to be my bargaining chip.
There's stuff that happens beyond what you control, my dude.
But justice.
So what was this bargain you were looking to strike with Arella?
Well, when she's free, there's not much I have to bargain with now anymore, is there?
No, but I'm curious, sort. What did you have in mind?
Simply going to make her aware that there is a rather spooky demon pretending to be her.
Oh, the Demon of Night. She knows.
Okay.
They have a bit of I don't want to call it sort of rivalry, but it's more they just kind of have a bitch off sometimes. Because, it's a sad thing on the cosmic level when a demon is considerably nicer than a god. Not the Demon of Night, of course, it's the Demon of Day. Amicable fellow, if a bit, You, for a split second, see a flash of Soraya doing, like, the clock in their head motion. Like that they're crazy. No. What did you intend to ask her help with?
Destroying it or incapacitating it.
If it was that simple, I imagine gods and demons alike could all be dead by now.
That's why I said that or incapacitating him. It wasn't very hard for you to throw her in dumb baby jail, was it?
I mean, it took all 6 of us to do it in the first place, so... In truth, your best bet for attempting to permanently be rid of something on our level would probably be the one thing that will never help you no matter how hard you try to convince him to. But,
I sense more so. I sense over from Shakio's direction, someone just like sneeze.
Actually, yes. I only offer up the information because, well, you wouldn't be the first to try. And then she hangs up. So was that your entire plan, Ren?
Look, alright, the plan was to coerce her into cooperation, and then dunk on the demon, throw it down baby jail at the very least. Like I said, even the first step was probably likely to fail. It did spectacularly. Not quite in the manner in which I thought it would.
You were expecting your relative to tell you to piss off?
No, I was expecting her to tell me to piss off.
Oh. Well, fortunately for you, Soraya is a helpful lot. Unless your name's Alias, in which case, fuck you. Screw you, Divine Dad, you're an asshole. Also, we don't need that turn order anymore. Boop. Oh, also, John, the mark that acted as the phone on your hand fades away.
Rude. Well, shut anyway.
Also, next, very, like, more DM curiosity. Where the fuck have you got Jonah stashed on his little stick?
Well, I was... No one ever... They never left the deck, so he's just kind of there.
Well, he's still chained to the stick. I assume you put the stick somewhere while you were in transit. Where did you put the stick? Did you just, like, prop him up in the hallway or shove him in next to the lizards?
Just shoved him off in like a room somewhere.
So you just in a
Shoved
broom
in the room
closet
with the
chained up?
lizards.
Not in a room closet, no.
Yeah, so he's in the room with the lizards.
He's just, like, stuck wedged next to the bus by the lizards, and lizards are all just, like, staring at him. He's just like...
Gee.
just watching the lizards do lizard things. One, like, walks up and, like, just slobbers on his face. Just big lizard tongue lick. Then there's, like, a little bleh, and walks away. Lizard don't think angry drown man is tasty. But once you guys land, what do you do with him? Do you turn him over to Dragon Roar or what?
I'm indifferent. He's not entirely my mess.
Admittedly, I'm mainly asking Rin because Rin's basically the one to decide what happens to this fucker at this point, unless you leave it up to me, in which case, who man?
So you said we landed.
Yeah, you guys have been landed. They hauled Marcus off the Bismarck a little bit ago.
Where on the world map where the bus still is?
Yeah, that's the bus. Actually, because you guys were chasing the oh god damn it, don't do this to me. Thank you, Roll20. You guys are actually roughly closer to, like, here-ish on the map. That's where the that's roughly ish. shit, you guys were passing over mountains by the time you guys blew it to hell. And before you ask, yes, the light show and black hole thing we're seeing for a very fucking long ways away. So people know some shit went down.
Fuck, I'm gonna do this.
What?
Trying to think how to have her depart. I'll just plug it out of my ass.
Let me help that along. A little bit after you guys land after Marcus is bought off, you see Roy and Rhea coming back with a few look like security dudes. And not hard to imagine what the heck they want with you guys. One of them knocks on the near the opened entryway to your ship, like, "Hey, when you got him headed up there?"
Suppose justice will win, sir. Is it?
Yeah, you know that really rude drow you guys got stashed in there?
Which one?
The one, currently chained to a stick as punishment for, stupid crimes.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, he's we looked up a bit more of his file and got a bit of a rap sheet, not just counting for how many people were unfortunately caught on that whole, demon castle back out that way. And he points over his shoulder to where Roy points over his shoulder to where the Lowerberg had at one point been. So gonna turn him over to the cops if that's cool with you guys. I don't know if there is such a thing as turbo jail, but he's going to turbo jail.
Justice sees no problem with this.
And does he go and retrieve the fucking plank the guy stuck to?
No, he's not gonna stop them.
Just opens the door for them to get out of the storage bay. I'm gonna assume yes in that case. To which you see three fairly beefy looking MPs just walk over, grab the fucking plank he's stuck to, and just start walking him out.
No, he just let them on. He just let them on to the ship. He didn't just tell them where he was. Because he doesn't know.
What, terrain? Yeah, he does. He was the one carrying him.
Yeah.
So he would have to point, and he would just tell him straight where he put him. He's like, I put him by the lizards down here. Boop!
You fucked
Just
yourself
like
over
a
with that one,
very
Ren.
angry drow standing in front of it in their way.
Oh, Jana is getting in the way of this?
And unfinished business with him. When it is done, then you can have him.
Or is like, I will wait outside then.
No, it's more long term than that.
Roy's like stopped the motion of him like pointing back towards the door with this like, are you fucking kidding me look on his face? Before he just holds out his hand towards one of the regular security dudes. They hand him what looks like an honest-to-God scroll, and he just whips it open. It's about twice his arm's length long when it comes unfurled. It's the number of people he's killed. You don't got long with him. He's going to fucking jail. If he's lucky. Rory's just staring at you while holding this like long list of, names.
Shit, Jonah has fucked up.
Mm-hmm. As I'm just watching Rin type. I feel like you mistyped something because, like, should about John leaving, but then Jonna, on the other hand, I am now slightly confusion.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Hey.
Ren, I think, has played himself into a dead end.
Mm-hmm.
Look, one of the key factors in getting the thing to work properly to have John exit the campaign did not, work because something had already been done on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened while I was away?
Short version.
I tried to force the god into cooperation and figured out she wasn't a dumb baby jail anymore.
Yeah, that.
Oh.
And now Dragon Roar is trying to, take Jonah to Turbo Jail because he has a Well, Roy just pulled out an actual honest to God scrolling list of people that apparently Jonah has killed. It is double his arm's length across, and Roy is about 6'3".
Jesus Christ.
And he just looked John dead in the eyes. This is the amount of people he's killed. He's going to fucking jail. If he's lucky.
I'm assuming this is referring to Jonah while I was away, but one of my viewers said this sounds like a better time for an extrajudicial execution.
Probably, yeah. Okay, so that's your plan.
That was steps 2 through X of the plan. It was just originally supposed to be backed up by a deity.
Oh. You wanted a deity's help in burning a village.
Well, it was the deity. It was the deity that the backstory originally thought was responsible for the fucking shit that happened to Jonah and Jonah in the first place. That turned out to be a demon.
Yeah, sadly for you, I don't think it's going to work, Rin.
Oh, I knew it wasn't going to work anyway, even with the real self. I've been telling Marcus the past week while I've been thinking about this, the chances of success require dozens of consecutive nat 20s somehow. And him being nice.
But yeah, Jana is now being confronted with the amount of with a. I should mention the list when you see it up close. It's 3 columns with a first and last name on for every person in the each column, all the way down the whole thing.
Wow. This
That's
is
a lot.
this is Jonah or Jana?
Jonah.
This is the amount of people. This is by according to Roy. This is the list of people Jonah has killed.
Okay, Jonah. Okay.
Yeah, this is the evil brother.
Just
Not
wanted
the,
just wanted to make triple sure, because the name sounds similar a little bit.
Yeah.
They just don't know about it yet. But when I'm done with him, you can have him back if he's still alive.
Roy just at that point he just starts rolling it up. You're not getting this, are you? At all, really? Remind me again. What's your connection to this dickhead?
It's my brother.
Hmm.
You can have him back when I'm done with him.
She is a very stubborn drow.
Emma's just sitting there shaking her head. That's not going to be what works.
Right, he's still winding up the sheet. It's just a long thing, just like him, just like going.
If you would like to send an escort to go enforces with us, that's fine. They're going to want to keep a safe distance of miles, though, as I get where I'm going.
And Roy, once he finally has it rolled up, he just puts a rubber band on it. And what are you planning to do with him?
Take him home. To deal with some things. You can have him back. As I said, if he's still alive at that point, it's entirely possible he won't survive.
Jonah just laughs. So you want to burn the old village to the ground, eh?
More or less. In addition to some other things.
You know that one gif of that dude who's just like that very shocked, blinking expression? That's Roy right now.
Because I'm guessing, did Jana reveal to them that they were worshipping a demon and all this other stuff?
The village still doesn't know.
No. Anyone else? Also no.
So as far as Roy knows, Jana just wants to go decimate a village.
As far as Roy currently knows, this chick who's related to a dude with upwards of potentially 1,000 counts of murder pinned on him in some capacity wants to go back, quote unquote, home, and the dude who has this rap list of dead bodies on his hands is oh, you just want to burn it to the ground, and Roy's just
really, bitch.
oh, please tell me that's the gif I think it is. Snack, please.
I think
Yeah,
it is.
that's the one. That's Roy's face. Just a bright red ass hair. Or here's this, and it's yeah, no. And he just hands the sheet back to one of the dudes. I think you're both coming with us in that case.
I mean, he's welcome to try. That might not end well for him.
Do you
What?
take up a defensive stance at all?
She's just gonna not be there anymore.
Oh, what? She just turned herself invisible?
No, not immediately, but she's no longer in the room, and she's gone.
Uh,
I have
problem with
counter.
that only goes 30 feet. You have to see where you're going, and as far as I know, the cargo room that you're in is currently closed. Like the big doors to get in or out aren't open.
And side note, just to check, how much time has passed as far with respect to the list of the list Shiakio was gonna do?
This is all happening while you're still on the list.
Okay, just checking.
So they came in to get him, but closed the door behind him.
They came in through the ship because they came in the front door the terrain opened. The big door for the cargo bay was closed the whole time.
For
That
fuck's
is
sake,
never-
Brain, if you want to get Jonna to exit the game, just stop being a butt about it.
Because like you have one very immediate problem is that your Misty Step is immediately just no because Roy has counterspell. Your next problem then when that is counterspell, because I assume you immediately cast invisibility when it's over.
Well, if the first one doesn't go off.
Keep in mind, you're in an enclosed space right now. It's like 25 feet across. The bus is to your one side. That takes up 10 feet of space just on that whole side. The other 10 feet to your left is the pen for the lizards, and then directly behind you is your stupid brother. And then in front of you in a conga line is Roy, Rhea, and then the 3 MPs from Dragon Roar. Okay, you say that after the Misty Step doesn't work. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. On that, Roy then, like, you see, he like puts up his arm to stop his sister from moving past him. Squeeze me?
Continue info dump.
Okay, so you then TLDR the whole situation that, Okay, so just for the sake of brevity, they get caught up on what the fuck you and Jonah's whole, the Drow siblings' whole deal is.
Basically.
Roy starts to open his mouth, and you hear Jonah from behind you. I can give proof. Roy like looks at him in like this like look of both like oh fucking really and I fucking hate you. In like the same like just look. It's like just grab him and come with us. We're gonna. Oh god, this got so much more complicated. At this point, the security guys move to go past you. Do you try to stop them?
No, not at this point. Because they're doing what I asked them to do. I said they could come with us if they didn't trust me.
Okay.
So I'm like, why are they acting like I'm gonna, be like, yeah, we're just gonna go murder some people after I told you all you could follow me.
And this is why Jonna gets herself in trouble, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. It's what I'm over here. It's like, you don't see the problem here. You can follow me. All right, what are you gonna do? We're gonna go blow up a fucking village. Excuse me?
Look, if I was gonna actually just go blow up an innocent village, I wouldn't tell them what I'm gonna go fucking do.
Still.
Forgive me. I don't have your character sheet. How high is Jonna's wisdom?
Should be high enough to know that's a stupid choice of words.
It's a what?
It's 15. Besides, she wasn't talking to them when she said it. She was talking to dumbass brother.
That's still plus 2 to wisdom. She should have had enough common sense not to say that.
Yeah.
Or at least
Anyway.
elaborate why she's blowing up a village. Anyway.
Yeah, so now Jonna is with very, very leery pair of redheads escorted out of the Bismarck with her brother and into the Guardian to do to probably potentially better plead her case and maybe see about, again, exercising that demon cult, because man, I may have been ready to roll some things to have bad happen to you. Don't worry about it.
That's what was kind of annoying, is you kept saying it was in close space. Then how did they get into the room?
They walked through the door and it closed behind them because automatic doors exist in this universe.
Yeah, you guys came down the one way you had to get in otherwise in the frickin' thing. It's 25 feet across. It's long enough in front that you guys can get around that way. Because you came down from the front of the ship. Because again, it like in my head, it made perfect sense. They came in from side of ship, went inside, got led to the cargo bay from inside, came down, went to where he was placed, which is the only place he can be in there, and then this whole domino started happening. So to be fair,
I was under the impression that the door they came into the cargo bay from was still open.
Automatic doors in a science fantasy universe, Rin. They exist.
It's fine, we're past it.
Yeah, you're also not wrong. The door was still open. However, the door is about 20 feet up behind the way they came. Because they didn't come in through the main cargo bay doors. They came in through the interior entrance. Because you didn't say Terrain opened the cargo bay doors when I asked, so I assumed he didn't. But anyway, so yeah, Jonna is now with Dragon Roar along with her crazy brother, and who knows what the fuck's gonna happen to them anymore.
Yup.
Probably death. A lot of fire.
Oh, fuck. Oh, never mind, that's fine. Okay. But now that that whole situation has been resolved, did anyone else want to do anything? Well, you have a bit of a respite here, because, well, next sleep, Fenless is doing Fenless things. Celestine and LRL are who knows where anymore. Because at this point, it's like, they're just gone. It's like, you have no idea where the giant, boof engine of enemy destruction and the half-orc lady he is following around have wandered off to. They're just not there.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He's a boof. Yeah. Jayaku's gonna go through his list, get the symbols.
Right, yeah, you were doing that. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, it's not hard. There's like a little one of the guys who works in like the science department was like, oh yeah, no, we can whip up some little personal trinkets like that real easy here, and it just takes you this little fabricator thingy and just like basically 3D prints you a couple.
Nice.
moves them out and hands them over.
A pocket those.
He doesn't even like charge you anything. He's like, oh yeah, no, that's easy. Just boop. Just makes them, smooths them out, and turns them over.
And I am carrying that broken sword with me still, just for reasons.
Okay. Then you're gonna check on Marcus.
Yeah, I'm gonna check on Marcus, see how he's doing.
Go to the med bay and well, he's in there, and so is probably about a third of their medical supplies hooked up to him.
Oh, sweet fucking Jesus!
He had third-degree burns when that shouldn't be possible. He's got like the whole like fucking the breathing mask. He's unconscious. He's laying in the bed. He's got like, you know, there's like doctors tending to him right now, and it looks like they're succeeding because like you see some like, you know, mundane medicine and treatments and like, you know, actual healing magics being cast by these people, and it's like,
oh yeah,
you're
no.
pretty sure
Sheakio understands why. It's still just kind of a shock to see a literal third of the medical supplies attached to him.
Well, it's attached to him being used, whatever, and that's accounting for medical supplies. Is also the staff using their spells here.
Right. Still, it's like, shit, this is bad.
He's in a bad way. Like, you can't even see all of them just because there's, like, basically the whole, like, on airship medical staff is treating him right now. And you notice it's very fortunate he's the only one in the med bay right now, because if anyone else is in here, man, if something happens to them, whoo, baby. These poor nurses they're not having a good time right now.
No, I imagine not. Since this is literally unheard of.
Mm-hmm. You were also looking for Victoria, right?
Yes.
Well, it's a good thing you find her in the med bay, just like watching all this happen from near the entrance, like you are.
I walk up to her and just like, Penny, for your thoughts.
She looks at you with her lone eye and just then turns her attention to Marcus.
I try and be as respectful as I can, because it's pretty plain she cares a lot about Marcus.
Hey man, it's her bestie.
Oh no, yeah.
One of them anyways.
I'm trying to go through my head how I'm gonna word this.
Don't worry, she doesn't try to like chase you off or anything, she just stands there. So, you know, you got time in and out of character to compile your thoughts.
I do place a reassuring hand on her shoulder though and just tell her I may not know Marcus in and out quite as well as you probably do, but from what I do know of him, he seems like a pretty tough guy, I think. It may take a while, but he'll come out. Good as...
No, he will, and she kind of like shrugs your hand off her shoulder. More from it's a reflexive, like, not liking being touched kind of way, rather than malicious, don't fucking talk to me kind of way.
I don't like being touched, please don't.
Yeah, it's more that you get than
Yeah,
anything else.
that's fair enough. If I may ask you something while you're here, what do you know of this woman? And I had at some point managed to find a picture of my mother and I show it to her.
Never seen her before.
And I'm suddenly having a brain fart out of character why I was asking her that. I had
I think she's the assassin who killed your mom.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Or you did. Now you know otherwise.
Yeah. Alright. fair enough. Figured I would just ask in case you maybe had dealings with her at some point.
Your friend there have a name?
She was my mother, actually.
Hmm.
Her name was Kovo. And I TLDR what I had found out about her, the fairly recent stuff. And I reassure her that I wasn't accusing her of being the assassin, especially now that I know otherwise. I just figured maybe you had possible dealings with her.
The whole time you're talking, she occasionally just like looks your direction. But once you finish talking there, she just like just turns and walks out of the room.
Well, obviously I just let her go. um... I'm gonna find a place to do some research and figure out what types or what spells or types of magics can pull someone body and soul into a weapon.
Roll me Arcana and Investigation.
Okay, there's Arcana and Investigation.
I'm astounded by these fucking rolls.
I know, right? Apparently, I really don't want to know.
Well,
given that I haven't run across that spell before,
or as you try to ask if you can, check the records from Dragonborn, they're like, no, you don't work for us, get out of here, and they basically chase you out of the records room.
Damn it.
So you have to resort to, Google. And, in this case, I'm gonna be honest, the results of both of those dives, or how long it would have been, how long it takes you, the higher the result, the shorter amount of time you find this information out, because you'd find it out either way. There is spells like that, as far as Kansara is aware, only exist in the realm of science fiction. As far as the world at large is aware. And it takes you about an hour to find this out.
Well then.
Yeah, you spend a whole hour just basically Google fooing on either your phone or in a laptop on the Bismarck.
It'd probably be a laptop on the Bismarck.
Yeah, so you looking and it's like, this kind of magic doesn't exist. At least not in reality. So you come to the conclusion, you are one of a small number of people who even knows that spell is real.
Oh, good.
At least of people who aren't in like shady underworld connections like this asshole seems to be.
Great. Fucking great. I think that's about it. When Victoria walked away from me, did she seem pissed off or anything, or did she just blank faced, got up and walked away?
Ren. Victoria, like, her expression has to be described as tired. Just very, very tired. She just hears you tell her all this, and then she just sighs and just walks out the door. You vaguely heard someone addressing her when she walked out, but that was about it. But it sounded like they walked off down the hall.
I make a mental note to apologize. Because, yeah, given the situation, that was probably a bit much.
Ran. His name.
I think that's about it for what she...
Oh god. For people who can't see our Discord, which is everyone watching the stream right now, Rin has changed his Discord name to My Plans, though.
Ah!
Look, it's been a while trying to figure out what I was going to do about that. It's like, oh, it's not going to work at all. Shit, that would win it.
I knew you had low expectations, but man, I didn't think I crushed them that hard. Anyway. But if no one else has anything to do, or really wants to take care of, seeing as how you just spent, good portion of the day fighting zombies and other things and, exploding a mimic train, a whole bunch of other really, really fucked up shit. You, take this moment you've got here to just, collect your breath, collect yourselves, catch your breath. In Snack's case, just pass right the fuck out, cause screw this shit, I'm tired.
Probably what Padma did too, TBH.
You, settle in for, long rest, and that's where we're ended this week, and congratulations, you're now level 16.
Get some. Let's see.
Which means ability score increases, and maybe a feat. I'll talk to you about that once the stream turns off.
Yeah, give me a second. Alright, and with the end of the session comes the end of the stream. Thank you all so much for watching. Really appreciate it. We do this every Saturday, starting at about 5 p.m. Pacific, barring any unforeseen circumstances such as real-life happenings and things of that nature. Excuse me. Yeah, I will be live tomorrow, starting at about 3 p.m. Pacific, with our weekly Wings of the 12 raid and Final Fantasy XIV. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. And if you want to know exactly when I go live, the fastest way, of course, is to hit that follow button and make sure you have notifications turned on. Other avenues that I announce when I go live, as well as any channel updates or schedule changes and things of that nature, are done via my Twitter, which is twitter.com/JinxMcNinja, as well as my Discord, the McLounge. Links are in the chat as well as down below the stream if you happen to be watching this later. And until tomorrow afternoon, guys, peace.